everybody, it's Marie Diemer. Welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight, Nick and I are having butter chicken. This is a really slick recipe. It can all be done on the stove. You could do it in the microwave if you like. I like just doing it in the saute pan. So let's get right to it. It calls for a tablespoon or so of butter. This is just so that it gives it the butter flavor, but it also, looking for my spoon here, right in front of me. It also gives you something to stir fry up the onions in, okay? So my pan's pretty hot. It says medium high. This is a portable burner. So I'm just letting the butter melt. I chopped up, the only prep I've done here is I cut up some chicken and I chopped up some onion. So this says, this is one whole onion. It's a larger onion, but Nick and I like onion flavor in our stuff. You don't have to do it if you don't want. We put onion in a lot of things. So all you're going to do is soften up the onions a little bit. Turn that way up. I love this skillet because it's got a big base on it. You can cook a lot of meat without it, meat or veggies without it piling up on each other. Nice high sides so that you can stir, doesn't go all over. And it has a nice glass lid. This is steamed up because I had it on the pan when I was heating it. But the glass lid also has a steam hole on it so that you can see what's going on in the pan when you're cooking. So I'm just going to cook this rice a little bit. Rice. I just made rice in the microwave if you're following my videos. I'm just going to cook these onions a little bit to soften them up. So butter chicken, I'm not sure if you've tried it before. It's a favorite here. This is from Indian cuisine, but it's not really spicy. It's a really great recipe for your whole family to enjoy. As always, EPICURE stuff is gluten-free and nut-free, and almost salt-free. So the butter chicken I enjoy on rice. Those that know me recognize that I'm not an adult about eating my vegetables, but you could also serve it with broccoli or green beans or something pretty on the plate. So to make butter chicken, I chopped up an onion and I chopped up chicken. It calls for 2 cups. This recipe makes a pile. So you can order 3 packages of the butter chicken in the current holiday 2023 catalog. You can order 3 packages for less than $14, and each package makes a ton. Calls for 2 cups of chicken. I don't need 2 cups of chicken in mine. I've probably got a cup and a half, cup and 3/4 cut up. But we also like lots of sauce, so that's not a hardship for us. Depending on how many people you're cooking for, it calls for 2 pounds of chicken and an onion. I used the larger white onion. Half a cup of crushed tomatoes and a can of coconut milk and the seasoning pack. All done in the steamer, in the saute pan. My goodness, I just finished making a steamer rice video, so that's kind of on my mind. So these onions have softened up quite a bit. Let's start to cook them, to cook everything else. So now I am going to add my seasoning pack, 1 seasoning pack of the butter chicken. Oh, I just love the smell of it. I know, I keep going on about smell-o-vision. So I'm just going to put that in with the onions. A lot of people associate Indian food, Indian flavors with a ton of spice. This recipe is not hot spicy. It's just the right amount. I'm going to put in half a cup of crushed tomatoes. They didn't have smaller cans of crushed tomatoes today at Metro, but they did have a very fine diced tomato, which to me looks, it's so fine it looks the same. And a can of coconut milk. You could have light coconut milk if you like. Sometimes when you open the coconut milk can, it looks like it's solid. Beware when you stick your spoon in there that it's not. It's all liquid underneath, because it will throw up all over you if you go at it with vengeance. So now, you can see in the pan, I just need to bring this up to a boil again, or a simmer. I'm going to dump in my chicken. Like I said, I've got about 1.7 pounds. I'm going to dump it in, put the lid on, turn the heat down to a simmer, just a gentle simmer, and simmer it for 10 minutes and dinner's ready. Have some rice on the side, fantastic. This is already thickening up a little bit because of the coconut milk. Anybody who's trying to eat gluten-free, there's no gluten in this, and anybody who's trying to eat lactose-free, you can have coconut milk because it's not pure milk product. Okay, so if I'd stop playing with it, it would likely come back to a boil. Got the burner turned up. Again, this burner causes me grief from time to time. I've got 1.7 pounds of chicken. I didn't cut it up tiny like I would for stir fry, just because I don't mind getting chunks in my sauce. So that's just coming up to a simmer now. I'm going to dump in the chicken. I'm going to kind of spread it out a bit so that it's not one big lump of meat. I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes and then I will come back and show you the finished product. Meals really don't get easier than this. There was one more step that we don't do. It says after you remove it from the heat, after the 10 minutes of simmering away, that you would stir in half a cup of plain Greek yogurt and serve it with rice. We don't tend to add the yogurt stage because for us, we feel it's a little too tangy, but maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. We prefer it without. So there we go. I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to let it simmer for 10 minutes and dinner's ready. I'm going to pause the video so I can show you the finished product in 10 minutes. I'll be right back. Hey everybody, I'm back. So when I left, I had set this to simmer on the burner for 10 minutes. Depending on how big pieces of chicken you have in there, I'd say simmer it for 10 to 15 minutes, but this is done. I had, smallish pieces. So, so what we did, we quickly fried up and softened up some onion, 1 whole onion in a snort of butter, and then I added the seasoning pack, half a cup of crushed tomatoes, and should have been a couple of pounds of chicken. Mixed it all up, simmered it on the stove for, I'll say 10 to 12 minutes, dinner's ready. Have some rice on the side, some veg if that's your preference, and I will show you. This is, let me get this spoon out of the way, EPICURE's butter chicken. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned. I'm getting back in the groove of doing videos a little more often, so hopefully I'm back online soon. Have a great night, everybody.